Hello, welcome back to the Bookla channel. Today I will teach you how to build a website for a landscaping company, for a pool cleaning company, or for a company that offers both services. These type of booking websites are complex to build because these services require a lot of information. For pool cleaning, how big is the pool? Do you need any chemicals? Do you need any cleaning additionally? Or where is the home? For landscaping, do you need additional lawn? Do you need seeding, fertilizer, to remove a tree, to plant some bushes? Do you need any garden design? But don't worry, I'm gonna teach you how to build everything from scratch without having to be an IT genius. So, if you're ready to build the most professional website, let's begin. By the end of this video, you should be able to make a website like this, with a very nice homepage, all the sections that are needed, but more importantly, a very well-designed service page. This is what is going to differentiate this web from any other web that somebody can build. Anybody can build a digital magazine with nice pictures and text, but what about the functionality? Let me show you the functionality of this one. Let's click on Garden Design. Under Garden Design, we have a unique booking component for this service specifically, where we choose the date, the time, and then we see different additional services. This is garden design, so they're charging you $850 to redo your garden. But do you want to add additional things like flower plants for $15? How many do you need? 5 of them? People can book them already. Do you need ornamental bushes? These little beautiful thingies? Let's buy 5 of them. Do you need a new grass? Is your grass well? Do you need a new patch? So let's say that we need additional 30 square meters of grass. So as you can see, we can sell grass by the square meter and additional plants by units. What about the pool service? So let's go into the pool cleaning service. It's a unique component with a different schedule, different pricing. For example, the pricing is $85, but on the weekends is $110. Additionally, you need to select the pool size. This is the main question every time you call this company. And they measure by the amount of liters. So let's say that this pool is between 10,000 and 50,000 liters. It will generate additional $50 of fee. Do we need any type of different chemicals? No, we're fine with the regular chemicals. Oh, we would like to have organic, eco-friendly, skincare friendly, whatever chemicals, so we can choose the more expensive ones. And in the same way, we built a booking component for all the different services. For example, lawn mowing. In the lawn mowing, you can select the time, but you can add reseeding, fertilizer, the lawn surface is a large garden, and then you can buy more new grass. This additional service is shared in 2 services. This time we need 40 meters of grass. And then we have one more service, which is tree removal. Under the tree removal, we select the date, the time, and then do we need to remove the stump? Yes. Do we need them to process the permits to remove this tree? In some counties, states, or countries is required. So yes. And what about the size of the tree? Usually they measure by how wide they are. So I added here a small description. The size of the tree is based on the trunk diameter. And then we can select medium, large. If it was a medium, it's additional 600. But you can be more clever and add here on the left description each tree size. Medium is up to 1 meter, large is very wide, and depending on the width of the tree, you can charge additional fees. So as you can see, we customize these booking components to match exact functionality of this company. And that's what I'm about to show you. Don't worry, it's very easy to do. Way more simpler than you think. You don't need to know any coding or IT to do this. So let's go ahead and do that. To take care of the most difficult part, we're going to use Bookla. Bookla is a very powerful booking engine that is highly customizable. And the things that we need to add to Bookla is services and resources. So we have our services, designer garden, lawn mowing, pool cleaning, and tree removal. And the resources is the people that takes care of these services, Hector, Kevin, and Linda. I also added add-ons in order to add the additional functionalities to each one of the service components. And then you can see that choose the chemical types, lawn surface, pool size, tree size, deck power washing. So all of these different services I added to each one of the service components that I previously did for each one of the different services that we offer. let me show you how to create this setup from zero so you can follow along if you like. To show you how to do it, I have a brand new company here called Backyard Mastered. So I'm gonna switch to this company and we're gonna start building this from scratch. The first thing that we need to do is add the resources, the people that is gonna take care of these services. The resources can be people, machinery, spaces, like a tennis court or a submarine or airplane, or a gardener or a pool cleaning person. So I'm gonna add 3 different resources. I'm gonna add Kevin, and the only thing that Kevin needs to start working is a working schedule or working hours. So Kevin will work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. Kevin has a working schedule. And yes, if you make a spelling mistake like I did, you can solve it very easy by editing the name. Now, Kevin is Kevin. Let's add another resource. Let's call this one Linda. Linda also needs working hours, so Linda can work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And she can work from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. And we can create one more person. Let's call him Hector. Hector will work more than anybody else. He will work every single day, but with a nicer schedule, from 10 to 2 p.m. Now we have 3 people working. We need to give them something to do. Let's create the services. First one will be lawn mowing. After we give the name to the service, we need to choose the type of services: days, tickets, group, flexible, or fixed. All of the services that we're going to use today are fixed, so don't be concerned with the other types of booking. They're for other types of business. Then we need to choose the duration of each service. And don't worry if you don't know the exact duration of these services. It needs to be an approximate service because I understand landscaping services can be exact. So let's call this service lawn mowing 2 hours. I guess that's more than enough. The booking policy refers to the type of booking. If it's instant booking, as soon as you click book, it will be booked. If it requires confirmation, like some of these jobs will do, then you can choose needs confirmation, or if it needs a prepayment, you can also choose that. In the case of a tree removal, I guess people will require prior confirmation, but let's build this one as instant booking for now. Then the customized interval, it means that if we choose the duration of 2 hours, the preset duration of the intervals is 2 hours, meaning that you can book this service at 10, at 12, at 2, and at 4. If we customize the duration, for example, to 1 hour and 0 minutes, then the booking intervals will be every hour, at 10, at 11, at 12. So let's create this one with 1 hour booking interval. And just like that, we have our service. Now we can link this service with our resources. In the case of this company, every single one of them can mow the grass. So if Hector is busy, but Kevin is available, then it will be availability in the schedule. Now we need to add the pricing. To do that, we need to choose the currency and then add some taxes. In the case of this example, let's say that it's 10%, which I think is very low, but we're gonna call it 10%. Now we need to add the price per service. Let's say that the standard lawn mowing services is $85, and we create the price. Let's add a second price rule. In the case that you need this service during the weekends, it will be $110, and we can limit this price by days, by hour, or by resources. But let's limit just by days. Saturdays and Sundays, it will be $110. It's very important that if you're adding another price rule, you set a higher priority. So this rule can override the other rule whenever it's Saturday or Sunday. Just like that, we have service with a resource and with the price. Everything is done. Here on settings, you can change the time interval, the type of booking, and other things. Let's add a buffer before and after because they need to arrive to the home. So I guess they need about 1 hour before and then about 1 hour after each service. So right now, every time you book this service in the schedule, there will be 2 hours booked. But additionally, there will be 1 hour before and 1 hour after that this service is not available, at least not for this resource. If there is another resource that can take care of this, then that resource will be available. But this one will be booked for 4 hours, even though the customer is booking 2. It requires time to go and to come back and some margin for error. So that's why we add this buffer. Great, now we have one service. Let's take care of the other one, which is garden design. It's fixed. This design will take 5 hours and the interval will be 1 hour. We want to allow them to book anytime they want. Now we need to connect with the resources. Garden design is Linda's job. Nobody else can do this. If Linda is busy, then this service won't be available at this time. Let's add the pricing. The currency is dollars. The tax we said that it was 10% inclusive. And now we can add the price rule. Let's say that the whole design of the garden is $600. Great, and it will be the same price every single day. We are all good. Do we need a buffer before and after? Yes, of 1 hour. So she needs 1 hour to arrive and then 1 hour to come back. Amazing. Now we need another service. Let's call it pool cleaning. It's a fixed type. It will take 1 hour and it will be instant. We link the resources, which all of them can clean the pool. And it also requires 1 hour of buffer before and 1 hour after. Finally, we need the last service, which is tree removal. But you can also call it tree palms, tree trimming. Now it's fixed type, and then removing a tree is usually like 8 hours or all day job. So let's call it 6 hours. The booking intervals will be every hour, so you can choose the time of arrival of the crew. And these resources is only Hector and Kevin. Linda doesn't like to cut the trees. In terms of settings, they also need a buffer. 1 hour before and 1 hour after. Now we have all of our services with all of our resources. We are ready to integrate the booking component in the web. If you don't have a website yet or your app yet, you can test everything on the styler, and you get there through component.bookla.com. When you click there, you're gonna arrive here, and this will allow you to test the component. But before we can test the company that we just created, you need to vinculate this styler with the Bookla platform of the company that you just built. I'm gonna show you how to do it, and please pay attention, because in the same way that we will link this, you will also link Framer. The first thing we need to do is choose the region of our server. In my case, I am in Europe. And then we need an API key, company ID, and a service ID. First, let's get the API key. We go back to the Bookla platform and click down here on developers, and we're gonna create a new API key. We click here, create new API key. We give it a name, so it's gonna be landscape. And it's very important that you select the type of permissions that you wanna grant. I recommend you only grant client access, otherwise they can modify your booking component. Now that you have this, very important that you put it on a safe place, because it will only be displayed once. So I'm gonna create a new node, and then I'm gonna add this here. Besides this, we also need the company ID, which you can get by clicking on your company and clicking in these little squares. So now we have the company ID that I'm gonna add right here. Then we need the API key that I already have right here. And finally, we need a service ID that you can also get on Bookla, the same way you got the company ID. You get it here, you click on services, and then every service on the top has an ID. There we go, and just like that, boom, it's working nice. Here we can check the functionality. For example, the pricing that we set, let's see if it works. So on the Friday is 85, and on the Saturday is 110. We also can choose any resource, and it says choose a resource. Luckily for you, this component is super customizable. Let's say that we want to change the name of any resource to any gardener. It's there. You can do that, or you can just hide the choose resource overall. And then you only have availability whenever any resource is available, and people cannot choose the resource. You can do it if you like it. You can also change the theme to make it more native. So let's say that we want to change this button color, for example. We click on the color, and then we will choose which color we like. And as you can see, now the button becomes red. We can also make it green, so it resembles more the website that we're building, and you can choose the shade. In the same way you can change this color, you can also change the border radius, the padding, the font, the background color, and anything that you need to make this native to your web. Okay, so this is working. What about the rest of the services? Let me see. Let me show all the service selector. Garden design is working. The lawn mowing is working. So now that we test that everything is working, there is no reason not to add it to the website. Okay, I guess now we can add this to the website. But before we do that, I just noticed that the pool doesn't have a price. So did we add pricing to all of them? No, pool cleaning, we didn't add a pricing. So let's do that very quickly. And the pool cleaning services is 75. Let's make a new rule because it should be more expensive on the weekends. If it's something I learned about building websites for people, is that they like when they can charge more on a specific day. So this will make you look very good, believe me. The tree removal, does it have a pricing? It doesn't have a pricing. Tree removals is very expensive thing. I had to remove one from my home and it was like 2,500. So let's make this one 2,500 with a 10% tax included. Now everything should be working perfectly. So we have a date with a price. This one also have a price. This one also have a price, and this one too. So all of them are working correctly. Now we can integrate this inside the web. Once we have it integrated, we start taking care of notifications, payment gateways, and all the other things that you can add to this booking website with very minimal effort. So let's go and integrate it into the web. Now to build the body of the website, we need a web builder. I'm gonna be using Framer. I'm gonna click on new project, and in order to save a lot of designing time, we're gonna use a template. So we click here on all templates. On the search bar, I'm gonna type landscape. And here under all the templates, I'm gonna filter out by price. So I'm gonna choose the free ones. And here we need to choose one that has a good structure. Forget about the pictures and the font and the colors. We need to find one with good structure. So this one has a very nice structure. You can preview it and you can see that it can work for what you need. So the concept is the same. It has some extra elements I don't need, but the structure is very nice. If this one works for us, we're gonna go back to Framer and click on use for free. Once you arrive here, you're gonna see that a lot of work it's already made. So it's responsive for tablets, it has very nice structure, but there are some things that we don't need, like instructions, we can get rid of those. We don't need this here, we can get rid of that. Here we are. Let's begin with the theme of the web, so the colors. The colors, I'm gonna click here and just edit the main colors. By clicking here on edit, I'm gonna make this green a little darker green. And just like that, everything that was very light green, it has changed to the modern green. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace this logo here for the logo of our company. And then I'm gonna adjust the size of the logo itself. So I'm gonna make it bigger, wider, and taller. There it is. Now that's done. The next thing, we just need to replace the pictures. And to do that, we click on layers and then we start identifying the pictures. So we click on the picture and we replace the picture. So I have it right here. This picture can be replaced too. So very quickly, we replace all of them. Once that you're done replacing all the pictures, now we can work on the service page. Let me replace this one right here really quick. This one here too. And I'm gonna replace this one because it doesn't fit the style. Better. Now we have changed the identity of the web to one that suits our needs. There's also something that I like to change, this get template. Better don't have that in the final job, right? And just like that, we replace the appearance of the web. Now let's go back to the home page and see how it looks. Okay, I think it's very well like that. Now let's go into service. On the service page, we have 6 different services that are here under a collection. Now we have this thing here that shows you all the other service, but that is the place in which we're gonna add our booking component. But before we do that, let's finish editing the CMS very quickly. We're gonna double click and then edit CMS. Since we're only using 4 services, we need to get rid of 2 of them. So I'm gonna get rid of seasonal planting and irrigations by double clicking and deleting. Now I only have 4 services. And here is where the magic happens. We're quickly gonna change 4 pages by editing the CMS. So the first thing that we do is we change the name, the title, so lawn mowing. And then we change the picture. And you can also change this description to fit the service that you are providing. By changing all these 3 things, now your web looks like this. You change the cover page and you can change the rest. There's one more thing that we need to do before adding our booking component here. We need to create another page for the CMS collection. Not another page, another field. To do that, let's go back to edit the CMS collection, and then here under fields, we're gonna click on the plus sign. We're gonna click plain text, and then we can call it Bookla Service ID. We can click elsewhere, and then at the bottom, there will be our service ID holder. That way we only need to customize one booking component, and then every single page will have its own booking component, behaving differently because of this service ID. So let's go ahead and add the ID of lawn mowing right here. On the Bookla platform, lawn mowing, and then we copy the ID back to Framer and we add it right there. Great. Now let's do that with all the other ones. So garden design, let's replace the picture and add the service ID of garden design. Next one should be pool cleaning. And we need to add the picture of pool cleaning. Very important to replace this description in the final work that you're making. Well, let's go ahead and skip that part and add the service ID. And the last one we need to do is tree removal. Replace the picture and add the service ID. Okay, now we can integrate the booking component here. To do that, we're gonna go into plugins. Clicking here on the Framer icon, go into plugins and then browse all. When you arrive here, chances are you don't have Bookla plugin here. So we're gonna click on browse all. And here on the plugins marketplace, we're gonna type Bookla. First one to the left, that's it. You click on it and then you click on open plugin. And you can add it to the project that you're working on. When you click there, this will pop up. Be sure that you are in the right section, because if you were at home and you add the plugin here, it will appear on the side. So let's go to the intended location and add the correct type of component. Be aware that there's all the different types that we have on the Bookla platform. So we're gonna click here on fix. Now that you have this component over here, you could just drag and drop it into place, but I'm gonna teach you a shortcut to keep it in the same location. We're gonna click here and go to the layers and identify this sidebar. Then it has some text and then it has some related services. The related services we're gonna double click and replace with the booking component. Replace with Bookla fix. And then we just need to delete this little text that is on the top. And that's it. Now we can play around with the size of the component and the text. So I'm gonna make this a little wider and the text a little narrower. We click on the main component of our Bookla component and then we are gonna increase the width. Make sure that you also modify the maximum width, otherwise you cannot do it. About 40% of the width is a good width. Now we have taken care of the size and we can start taking care of the appearance. Select the component and then let's go one by one so you can know each one of these items. I'm gonna make it smaller, so this refers to the size of the overall component. If we choose large, it will be super large, and then if we choose small, it will be small. Then the background color is the full background. I'm gonna leave it white. Primary and secondary, this refers to the text. I'm gonna leave them in this color because the web also shares the same color. The font family is intern, it fits the web, so we're not gonna change that. When we arrive to item, this is very important. Item is this squares that are inside the component. So I'm gonna change the brand color and I'm gonna choose the one of the web. Next, we have blocks. The blocks I'm gonna leave the same, but as you see, you can change the gap, the border radius, the padding. Depending on the type of web that you're building, you can choose that. Next one, the button. The button, I'm gonna choose the brand color to the same one of the web. And with those two changes, I think we're almost done. We can continue and we can modify more things. Please be sure that you don't change the guest mode into enable, because otherwise everyone will have to register before being able to book. Now, resources. Remember that I got rid of this section. We're gonna repeat this. Nobody needs to understand if it's Hector, Linda, whoever is arriving there. If it was a doctor's appointment, then it's very relevant. And then we have code field. This will enable promo codes. Let's say yes, because we can have promo codes. And then we arrive to the very important part. Where it says Bookla is where we're going to put the information to connect the component, just as we did with the styler. I'm gonna choose the European server. Then the API key is right here because we saved it. Great. Company ID, very easy to get. And the service ID we already have. So we're gonna click here on service and we're gonna set a variable. Which one? Bookla service ID. And with all of these changes, if you believe in magic, nah, I'm kidding, it's gonna work. Let's go ahead and click here to test it. And as you can see, we have our date, our pricing working, so from 85 to 110. And if we click here, we can add a promo code. But where is our promo code if we didn't create it any? We're gonna do it right now, don't worry. So now the booking component is working here. So long mowing has one booking component and it works every single day because this is the only service that is provided by every single person. If we go to another service, it will not be working every single day as a demonstration that they have different schedules. So this service is not available the following days, but it's available now. Great. This must be garden design. Because remember that Linda works here only and she doesn't work until Thursday. The next service should be tree removal. Let's see if it's working and it has the crazy prices that we set. 2,500, great. And all of them ask you for a promo code, which we enable. Let's check the last one just to make sure that everything is correct. Pool services with the 75 euro, great. Amazing. Now we need to be able to put more functionality here. But if you need just a basic consultation booking, this far you're good to go. Now I'm gonna teach you how to bring this booking component to the next century, to make this an actual tool for the business owner. Nobody wants to pick up the phone to say, we charge 2,500 for tree removal. We charge 75 to clean your pool. But if it's a little bigger, we will charge you 50 more. If it's super big, we will charge you 75 more. To do that is the website. Let's not bother Hector, Linda, and Kevin. They're very busy growing their business. Growing, garden, you see what I did there? Okay, let's go back to Bookla and start adding additional things. To add more things in Bookla is super simple. We have this section here called plugins, and then if you click on add plugins, you're gonna find all of these ones: booking rule, promo code, service add-ons, and then you have some payment gateways. I'm gonna explain what they are very quickly, and I'm gonna teach you how to add them. I'm not gonna add all of them. If you need one that I didn't add, you can go ahead and add it yourself. Or you can watch any of our many tutorials on how to do each one of these components. We need to add service add-on. This is very important. And because we enable this, we need to add a promo code. We also need to add some notifications because these people need to be notified whenever their booking is done. We could also add booking rules, and we need a payment gateway to test all of these things. So just like that, I went to the grocery shop and added a bunch of things to my cart. Now we need to enable and set them up, but don't worry, it's super quick. Let's begin with the payment gateway. We're gonna click here on start connecting, and then the only thing we need is a secret API key, that I have one, but I'm gonna show you how to get one. Stripe.com and use sign in. Once here in the main portal of Stripe, we're gonna click on developers, API keys, and then click here on secret key. This is all we need to put it back here on Bookla. And then we need to add success, cancel, and failure redirect, which are pages on your website. If we go here to our pages, we should have a 404 failure, but we also need a success one. So I'm gonna make this a success page after I duplicate it. Duplicate, and then I'm gonna turn this into success. And we need to call it success and undrafted. We grab this link and put it back here. Now for the failure and redirect, the one that is the 404 error for both of them. If you are into very deep IT, you can use URL templating to fetch and send data using the payment URL. This means that you can send information to the page and gather this into a CRM or populate some database, so you can use the success or failure link or redirect link of the payment gateway to send and fetch information. If you want to do that, I'm going to show you how to do it. So you go to docs.bookla.com and then you will find a lot of information here. On the plugins, you can find all the different plugins that we're going to be using today. And under payments, if you go to redirect URL templating, you will find all the rules here and how to use it to send data. You will find the placeholders, the reference, and all of this. Very nice place to come and find information whenever you need it. But for now, we click connect and we have it ready because we're not here for the complications. We're here to make everything simple. Now we need to take care of the promo codes, and taking care of the promo codes is super easy. We click on new promo code, we type the code, which is going to be garden, and then we give it a title. Now we can give it a description, but it's not mandatory. So we need to choose if it's going to be a percentage discount or a fixed amount. I like to do fixed amount because it's very easy to do the math. So let's say that this will be $50 of a discount. And then we can use service specific rules, meaning that if I add a rule and I choose a service like lawn mowing, for this service, which is one of the cheapest ones, we're going to give a fixed amount, but not 50, but only 10. We can also add another rule and choose the pool cleaning service to be only 10, fixed amount. And now this will apply $50 to every single service, but it will apply $10 to these services that we chose. We can choose the type of promo code. It can be unlimited, single use, one per customer, etc. And then we create it. Now we have a promo code and a payment gateway. We need to take care of the booking rules. This is a headache releaser per se. Whenever you're talking with the owner of this business and you tell them that you're going to automate refunds and you're going to create cancellation policy in which if people doesn't show, he will keep some percentage of the payment, he's going to love you. Let's create first the cancellation policy. Cancellation policy. If we choose any service, then this cancellation policy will apply only to the service, and then you can create more than one. But if you don't choose any service, it will apply to all of them. Now here is where we start applying the constraints. The hours before is the period to get this amount of refund. So let's say that if you cancel 24 hours or more before, you will get 95%. And if you cancel 12 hours or more, you will get 50%. So anything greater than 24 will give you 95% refund. Anything in between 24 and 12 will only grant you 50%, and anything less than 12 will give you 0. We create the rule, and now we need to add rescheduling rule. We click here on create rescheduling rule, and we give it a name, rescheduling policy. The same, if you choose one, applies to that one. If you don't choose any, applies to all. And then we need to select the amount of hours before the event that we will allow rescheduling. So since we're not losing any money, let's keep it at 24. Create. You can also add contact details, reply to email, a phone number, and then you can add a message referring the working hours or how to contact you. You can come to the office located here, and you can even add an address link. Let's pretend our office is this very nice marine oceanographic, and we add it here. Our working hours are from 10 to 20, 10 to 8, and from Monday to Friday. We click create and we have automatic booking rules, automatic refunds, automatic rescheduling. Very nice web that we're building here. Now we need to add the service add-ons. This plugin is the one that is going to take the component to the next level. So let's begin adding the add-ons. We can create a singular add-on or a group add-on. Let's begin with the single add-on. First thing, we give it a name. For example, skin-friendly chemicals. We can add a description, hypoallergenic chemicals, and then we can charge $95 more every time somebody's cleaning your pool. Let's add the tags, same matching the service, and then we can add a maximum quantity of 1. This will make that instead of being a number marker for you to decide how many you want to buy, there is only a bubble to mark yes or no, because only one time we can apply the chemicals to the pool, and we create it. After we create it, we can link it with the intended service. So skin-friendly chemicals with the pool cleaning service. Let's continue to add more service add-ons. Let's create one called deck power washing. The price of this service is $55 and the same tax rate as before. You can only choose one. Create. And we can link it with the pool clean. Now the pool is only missing one add-on, is the pool size. For that we need to create a group add-on because there's multiple sizes that you can choose. Pool size will be the name, and then the first member, we have 2 members in this group. We need to add another member because there's 3 different sizes of pool that we want to sell. So the first one will be less than 10,000 liters. And the price will be 0 because this is included in the initial price. We need to make this require for this to work, otherwise people will not choose the size. The second one is from 10,000 liters to 50,000 liters. And the price of this will be additional $50. And the last one will be more than 50,000. And the price will be $75 additionally. We create this and we add it to the service, and it's required. Now we need to add for the tree removal. The tree removal, we will create the add-on. Permits processing is $400. We can also create another one that is a stump removal, $190. You can only choose one stump removal, and the same with the permits processing. You can only choose maximum 1. Finally, we need to add the group 1 for the size of the tree. Tree size based on diameter of trunk. Small tree, less than 2 meters in diameter, and then we can do big tree, greater than 2 meters in diameter. The price of the big tree is an additionally $600. This one is 0, is included in the original price, but remember we need to make this required for it to work. So let's add the add-ons here. Stump removal, tree size is required, and we have the permits processing. And we link this. So we took care of tree removal. Let's take care of garden design. This one is easy because the only thing we need to add is additional flowers or plants. Back to add-ons, create individual add-on. Flower plant, price per plant $15 and percent tax, and the maximum quantity you can get is 1,000 plants. Let's add another one. Ornamental bush is $55, and we add it to the garden design. Let's create another one. New grass. This one will be by square meter, so it's $2 per square meters, sold by M square. Maximum amount is 10,000, and we create. Now this service add-on, we can link it to garden design and to lawn mowing. Now let's create one more. Fertilizer, for example, at $55, and we can link this to lawn mowing. We can also select the size of your lawn if you want to make it small, big, or medium. So you can customize this however you like. Let's keep it like this for this example, and let's go to see how it looks in the web. So let's go back to Framer. Let's go to our home page, and very important to enable the add-ons. So to do that, we need to go to the service page, click on our component, and here on add-ons, click yes. We can also change the title. Instead of add-ons, we can say additional services. And then in total add-ons, we can say total extra fees, for example. And let's test how everything looks. We are gonna select the date, the time, and now we have the add-ons. So the fertilizer, we can buy way more than one fertilizer. This is what I say, that sometimes we need to limit the quantity. How do we limit the quantity? It's too complex. Add-ons, fertilizer, edit, maximum quantity 1, because we're only fertilizing the lawn. Back to our website. Fertilizer, you can choose or not. That's what we wanted. Now, new grass sold by square meters. How many meters of new grass you need? 45, and then it will be $145. Promo codes, do they work? So out of $230, I should save on lawn mowing only $10 because that was the condition we created. So garden, and we're saving $10. Amazing. Let's continue with the booking. Just like that, we made the booking. Now, if we go back to Bookla and we change our services to this one, will need prepayment. Save. Lawn mowing also needs prepayment. Save. Pool cleaning needs prepayment. But the tree removal needs confirmation. There are some trees that they might not be able to remove. Needs confirmation. Great. Before we abandon the Bookla portal for good, let's take care of one of the last plugins, the email notifications. The way in which it works is that this is template holders. We have merchants, clients, and reminders. Merchants is the business, clients is the customers, reminders is just reminders. So first, we're going to create a template for a client. So every time a client makes a booking, he's gonna receive a confirmation booking. So we need to choose client here and then the event that will trigger the email. In this case, it will be confirmation, and now we can have a subject line. Remember that this is a template and it will behave different according to the data that is provided at the moment of the booking, like the name, the service, the resources, the date. So all of these variables will take the name of real data. Additionally, if you like IT, you can use conditional logic or metadata and a lot of variables for you to customize these emails. But if you want to make a simpler version, you can also do that. Your booking confirmation, we're going to replace for your service was booked successfully. And then I'm going to add the variable of my name or the first name of the customer, which is right here. Hi, first name, dot. Your service was booked successfully. And here it says, dear first name of the client, but we can find even the last name. So let's go back to the documentation page and we're going to go to plugins. Under plugins, we're going to click on email notifications, notification creation, and here is all the different variables. I'm going to look for the one which is the customer's last name, this one right here, so I can use it in my template. There we go. Your booking has been confirmed, and then it will add the names. I don't want to add the resource, and then booking details, maybe we call it service details. And then we can have the name of the service. The start date is fine, the start time, but the end time is too committing. We don't want to commit to end on time. Now we can add a managing URL. Since we have booking rules and payment gateway, we can handle this rescheduling or refunds with this URL. If you need to change your booking, click here. And then we need the variable to find such URL, which is here under docs, the last one, manage URL. We're going to add it right there. With this, we're granting power to the customer to manage its own booking. He don't need to call anybody. He's going to receive this on the email. So this is the confirmation email and he will receive this. Create template. Great. We also need to create an email for the merchants. for booking pending. Whenever somebody needs confirmation, they need to know that they must confirm. Unlike the client's email, we need to provide an address. Who is receiving this email? Because the client is providing this, but this doesn't know who in the organization needs to confirm the tree removal, for example. So I'm gonna add my business email here. And we can select the resources that needs to be triggered with this email. If we don't select any, it will apply to all. New pending booking, and then there is some presets there that I'm gonna leave like that because it's for internal purpose. I can also create reminders, X amount of time, for people to be reminded. And for the clients, I can create way more than one template. I can create templates whenever the booking is edited, the booking is pending, so I can create one for booking pending. Your booking is pending confirmation. Your booking is about to be confirmed. And then we can say here for you to see how it behaves. But you can add the different data like this resource or this person is reviewing your application. You will be contacted very soon. So you can do whatever you need with this template. And remember, all the variables, conditional logic, and the use of metadata are possible. So basically, one single email can work for all the different services and behave differently. It just takes a little more time on this template. So I'm gonna create this template right now. And just like that, we're almost done with email notifications. We need to take care of the settings. We need to add at least a reply to email. So I'm gonna use my business email. The sender's email, you can add it. You need a custom domain, and that will allow you to change the name of the sender. So if your company is called yourcompany.com, the name of the sender will say yourcompany.com, but only with a custom domain. Great, now we're all set here on the Bookla platform. Let's go back to Frame. So we enable the add-ons, now they're showing, but there's one more thing that for this business is super necessary, which is custom forms. Custom forms allow you to request further information at the moment of the booking, like an address, because we're providing home services, additional data, and then we need to start adding the additional fields. These fields, will they be text area, which is much bigger than text, number, multi-select, select, phone, and URL. So the first thing that I'm gonna require from them is the phone number. The title will be phone number. The placeholder will be a fake phone number, so they know how to do it. Will it be required? Yes. You can make it not required, or you can make it required. And then the error message will say this field is required. So we just added one field. We can add another field, which is gonna be called address. It's gonna be text, placeholder, please enter your address. Will it be required? Yes, it will be required. And just like that, you can add, is there any parking? And then instead of text, you can say select. And then the options needs to be separated with a comma, yes and no. And is it required? Yes. So just like that, we finished our booking components. Let's publish the web with all the changes and test it all the way from the beginning till the end so you can see what we just built. Let's go to the main page and let's look at this nice web. Let's click on garden design. Garden design, very nice booking component, and we're gonna click here on the Friday at 10 a.m. we require a new garden design. For that, we want to have 11 plants. The reason in which this placeholder is bigger than this one is because in here we set up a limit. Here we didn't, so it's keeping the place for up to 10 million. We can edit that very quickly under the add-ons, and we need to edit it and add a maximum quantity of 100, for example. And this will constrain the size of the placeholder. As you can see, now the placeholder fits to 100. So we need 11 plants, 5 bushes, we need 10 meters of new grass. We're gonna continue with our booking and we're gonna add our required information. Now, the phone number is mandatory because they are coming to our home. Address is mandatory. Is there parking? Yes. You can also replace this enter value for select one option, as you can see. Let's make the booking to test everything. Every time you're testing something on Stripe, you can use 424242, any date in the future, any 3 numbers, and any name, and you will be able to pay. Great, success! Now let's check our emails to see what's going on there. So under the client's email, we have an email. Hey Felix, your service was booked successfully. If you need to make changes, you can manage your booking here. And as you can see, I can cancel this booking with a 50% refund, but I cannot reschedule. This means that it's in between 24 hours and 12 hours of happening. Let's test another service so we can keep trying this email also. Let's go back to our website, back to services, and test the tree removal, which requires prior confirmation. So we need it on Monday at 7 a.m. and it's going to be a small tree. We need the stump to be removed, and yes, we need the permits. We're gonna use our promo code, which it should take away $50. So this should be 3,030. Garden. It took away $50 instead of 10 that took away from the previous service. So we continue, and then we need to add our data. And no parking this time. We make the booking. That's it. No payment. But we have an email that says, your booking is about to be confirmed. What's going on in the email of my people? New pending booking. Now the business knows. And it's Kevin, start date, start time, pending. How do I know if I want to accept this booking or not? We go back to our Bookla platform and then we're going to find our bookings. So I have a garden design, lawn mowing. On the Monday, I have a tree removal that I can accept or no. So let's check the metadata. Is there any parking? No parking. This address is very far. I could deny this service and then he will receive a message that says your service has not been accepted, but we're gonna accept it. We're here to make money, right? Confirm. Now this should trigger a confirmation email, correct? Your service was booked successfully. Now I have a confirmation email, and this is Monday at 7 a.m. So this one should allow me to reschedule or cancel for 95% refund. So if I cancel this booking and if I reschedule this booking, it will allow me to reschedule and it will allow me to cancel. So everything is automatic. Here is the information that we added. Felix at Bookla, phone number, you can come to the office here, and then our working hours are here. Amazing. Let's test the other service. We only need to test the pool cleaning service. So we choose the time. Skin-friendly chemicals. Yes, I want those. Select size of the pool. Super big. Deck power washing. Give it to me. Now, should take away only $10 because that's what we set for this promo code. Only $10. And we continue. And if we put all of our data, the process will be the same. So now you know how to make a super nice booking website. Back to the Bookla platform, there are more things that you need to know. For example, here under the plugins, there are ones that I recommend using for this type of service, like subscriptions and gift cards. Why do I recommend those? Because whenever you have a pool person or a lawn care person, it's nice to subscribe to the services, and they can sell subscriptions right in there. Gift cards also allow you to give the gift of something, because sometimes I wish people gave me like a car wash gift card or like an, I don't know, restaurant gift card. They will give me some book or some sweater I will never wear, but if you give me a home cleaning gift card, I will call this person and they will clean my home. That will be an ideal gift. Let me show you some webs in which we install this subscription or gift card component so you can see how they look. For example, this one is for a fitness center, and they not only have the booking component here, they also have a purchase a gift card. So they sell $200 gift card and $50 gift card. And as you can see, their website is very branded with this yellow and black, so they match the style of the booking component and the gift card component. Let me show you another one. And this one is for a car wash. Under the service page, they have the booking component, but they also have a subscription component. So this allows you to buy a subscription to this service and then you can use the services without having to pay every single time. It's a great gift. So gift cards and memberships or subscriptions for this type of businesses are an amazing additional feature. Well, my friends, that's all for today. By now, you should be able to build a booking website from scratch and have it up and running in no time. But if after all the tutorial you still have any questions of something that we did cover but you didn't understand or something that we just didn't mention, please let me know down here on the comments. Me or somebody from the team will answer all of them. If you found this video interesting or useful, please share a like with us, it means a lot. If you know anybody that is struggling to build a booking website, please send them this video. And don't forget to subscribe to the Bookla channel so you can stay up to date with the latest releases. Thanks a lot for watching, see you next time.